must have left them on or something.
When I gave it to Elena the other day, she did a really good job.
That's right. See, don't you want me on your boards? And you can blame me for everything.
I blame you anyway.
Yeah, well, it's legal if I'm on your
We
board.
need to get a whole bunch of rechargeable.
Okay, I guess this is a library. Look at the crowd. Look at this. Isn't this amazing?
Yeah, a little short. This is a time set for Philipsburg Area Community Library District Board, and this is a request of the county to accept a deed conveying real property, and we'd asked and invited some public comment. The last time that the first time we heard about it.
There's chairs up here if you don't like it.
Yeah, so come on in if you can.
There's a chair right there. I'm gonna sit too much.
So, for public comment, if you want to step forward, give us your name so that you can put it on the record, so you can put it on the record, and speak loudly so we can all hear because our it's not working here. So, Dustin, you want to start?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. So I just wanted to kind of clarify, you asked last time why we felt that it was better to have the county have the deed for the building as opposed to the city. And basically just, if you look at the library district, it encompasses so much more of the county than just the city itself. So we felt it would be more appropriate to have the county own the building or have the deed for the building anyways. That was just to answer your question from before. I don't know if I answered it well last time. But
No, you did fine.
okay. Yep, and then, should we open it up for public comment, or did you guys
Unless
have
you
any
have
other
anything
questions?
else.
That was the main
You
point
want
that I
to
had.
quickly kind of go over what's going on here?
Okay, so basically what we're looking at doing is purchasing the building next to Bricks. It's a 3-story building, there's a basement, a main floor, and a apartment on top. The
cafe.
And then there's a cafe as well, it's the coffee shop there. We are looking at doing, having the county hold the deed for the building, based on, the nonprofit status, or basically
The interlocal agreement.
Interlocal agreement between the county and the city. Either the city or the county has to have the deed for it. We can't do it ourselves. So we felt that it would be more appropriate for the county hold the deed, because we're no longer a city library, we're the school district library. So we felt that's what we're requesting, is for the county to sign the deed for us.
Or a district that covers the area of the school district.
Yeah, it's not the school district itself, it's just the same
Yeah.
boundaries as the school district, as the new library district.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and let's open it up for public comment. Let's hear what others have to say. Do you want to step up and give us your name?
I'm Jenny Pugh. I'm a Granite County resident and resident of the library district. I just had a suggestion to maybe speed this along. Why don't we ask how many people, if there are people here that are for it, put their hand up, people opposed, put their hand up.
Sure, we can do that. We'd love to hear the comment, though. So,
I'm
how
for
many people are for us, the county, acquiring this asset? All right, against? Doesn't look like anybody. Does anybody have some comment? Nice job.
My name's Leslie Casey. Our library has children's programs 4 days a week. We have an understanding with the school that if their parents aren't there, the kids can come down to the library until 5 o'clock. Last winter, I was working on the assistant librarian, and a parent was stuck in Anaconda and could her child come to the library till she could get up there. And it was a first grader. The library provides a safe place for kids after school until 5 o'clock, till 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and on the weekends. And we also have a children's program once a month. I'm not exactly sure of the statistics, but the circulation and the number of participants in our library has grown by 4-fold since Miss Vail took over the library. Right now, every time we have a program, we have to move the bookcases. And it would just be so much easier if we had more room. The building beside Bricks has 3 times as much room on the main floor. And so that's why I'm in favor of it.
So before you go, let me ask you a question. You're a
Yes.
taxpayer, right?
Right.
You realize that if in fact we sign that deed, that's an asset that outlives me on the commission, all of us, okay, that will go over to the county. You okay with that?
As long as there's something like a 100-year lease.
Or they're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it.
So, but
At
least
but
we can-
So that no one can do anything with the property.
Oh, other
Yeah.
than being the library, got it.
Yeah.
But as a taxpayer, it's not unlike the building you're in right now. It will become a county asset. Are you okay with that? Are you
And
good?
how does becoming a county asset affect me as a taxpayer?
Because you own it. You'll own it as a taxpayer. You're the owners of this building, okay? Which means a couple things. It means we have to maintain it. And then this board will probably say, well, the library's gonna have to come up with a way with some of the way that they're gonna get money from other things to maintain it. Okay, we'll have to work something out with them, but at the end of the day, it belongs to the county and we'll be responsible to maintain it. Okay, is everybody good with that? Because as the
No, I got a
owners, we
question.
kinda wanna hear from you.
Yeah, well, you know, the library board has been very good about coming up with funds for all different kinds of things. And I realize that if the furnace blows up, we have to replace it.
Okay.
But I also think it's a valuable asset, not only for the taxpayers, but for all the kids in our school district that come in and use the library.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm Elena Gagliano. I don't understand this. You want to buy? You want the county to buy this
We're gonna
property?
buy it, we have
You're
the
gonna
funds
buy
for
it.
it, we're gonna take out a loan with the bank to cover the remainder of the cost of it. And then, yeah, so the county won't own the building, but we'll maintain it. There's 2 rentals, potentially 3
Well, see, that's what I don't understand. If you're buying it, and if you're gonna have the money and the county doesn't have to lay it, and then you're just gonna give it over to the county?
So it's required by statute that since it's a multi-jurisdictional library district, it has to be owned and the title has to be held in the name of the county, the town, or a combination thereof by statute.
So how much of the school district are we talking about? Just the Philipsburg, or does it
So
in?
the library district itself covers the same area as the Philipsburg School District. So they're not, it's a separate library district, but it covers the same area.
Is this something like the hospital asset, the building for the hospital?
It's a lot like that, yes.
It is.
The county owns the building, the real property. In this situation, the county would as well, if the county commission accepts it. Then there'll be an agreement on who has to be ultimately liable for the maintenance and other issues.
Insurance and
Yeah,
everything.
insurance.
Okay, so it'll be similar to the hospital.
Yes.
And then the lease, you're gonna decide what the lease would be. The hospital pays $1, I guess, a year. And so, is that
They
how
want it
that's
to
gonna
On
be?
a longer lease, you know.
So there's already a interlocal library agreement. What I'm suggesting is an addendum to that takes care of all these issues.
An addendum? Is that what
Correct,
you're
yeah.
saying? Okay, thank you.
Any other comment or questions?
I've been to a lot of events.
Your name, ma'am?
I'm Edith Shills.
Did you catch that, Sue?
Yes.
Okay.
She knows me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've attended a lot of children's events in the library, summer and winter, and there's no way that garage can be made as comfortable as we could be in a better building.
Great.
Our kids deserve to have a nicer place without cars going in and out, because it's a garage, and sometimes the maintenance crew will bring something in or take something out, right when there's a whole room full of children, and that just appalled me to think about the carbon monoxide. And in the wintertime, it's cold, and I don't care what you do with it, it isn't gonna be nice like we could make the other building.
You're good with, in the long term, the county acquiring another asset? You're okay with it?
I think it's awesome.
Okay. Thank you for your comments.
One of my comments is, I think it's gonna help where you got a, you know, for the payment, you can rent that.
Oh, well, that's the other thing, is the, any
an all-
maintenance costs or snow removal, garbage, all that stuff is gonna be covered by the rentals.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of
Easily.
interest in renting everything, so.
Yeah, easily.
That's just my
Well,
comment.
it's hard to be, I agree with you. So any other comments?
Yeah, one other thing, parking, you know, you build it, they will come. So what, any arrangements for parking? Because the parking is terrible in town as it is.
There's, the lucky thing about this space is actually there's parking behind the museum and the Winninghoff ice skating rink. Parking could be used and accessed from behind. So you don't have to.
The alley?
park. Yeah. In the
Then
alley-
somebody's gonna have to be taking care of the alley, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
the summer is the biggest concern because you can't find a spot in front.
There's parking at the ice skating rink itself that could be used?
Yeah, that grassy area, that's
Yeah.
the Winninghoff skating rink parking, and then the museum parking can also, you could access from.
Cindy,
behind.
good with that?
Sorry.
We're just fine with that.
I just wanna make sure.
Well, thanks for asking. And I might, I'm Dan Rose, the mayor, and I might take a moment here to say thank you to all the board members and to everyone who's initiated this process and got it to where it is today. We had some other ideas, as obviously everyone's aware, and this opportunity came up, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone involved, because they were able to think on their feet and look at another option, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's a plus for everyone involved, and also I'm here to testify about the garage. I like the garage as a garage, and so we'll be able to maintain that and use that for future use for vehicles and so forth. We were looking at possibly having to do an extension down at the town shop, but that's all mitigated with this, so I think it's a win-win for everyone involved.
Good.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Mayor.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mary. Any other comments on this? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Ruby Kickert. I'm on the Friends of the Library Board, but I wanted to speak as a grandma, and I have grandkids that visit here, and I noticed downtown, a lot of the out-of-town visitors, they bring their kids for the candy shop and the toy store, but the kids get burned out after a few hours, and I think having a nice place where parents can go with their children to kind of regroup would really benefit everybody and keep people in town longer and spending money longer, so. I think it's a win-win for not only the city and the county people, but also out-of-towners. And I do live in the county and I fully support it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Any other comments? Any other public comments? Any public comments, other
We
comments?
need this public support in a lot of stuff. Look at this.
So, commissioners, is there any commissioner comments?
Yeah, can we guarantee that the county's not gonna be liable for the maintenance? You know, 10, 20.
We'll have to enter into.
repeated, please?
Can we guarantee that the county will not be liable for the maintenance, 20 years from now?
This will
So-
be in the interlocal agreement.
Yeah, so ultimately, as Commissioner Slaughter said, the county is liable, but then you could, by agreement, have the library district agree to take on the maintenance, repair costs. The issue would, and insurance costs, but we can talk about that more. But the issue would be potentially if the library district dissolved. What would happen there is if there's by statute, if there's debt there, then it's still the taxpayers within the district have to take care of that debt. So that's so it's ultimately it is the county there.
So, having said that, and the county attorney's actually explained to us once before, it's my personal feeling that, looking at this group of people, I have total confidence that you're gonna take care of the county's asset lovingly, and I don't have any doubt that in 20 years, that asset's gonna be worth what, 5 times what it is right now? I mean, you know, this town's gonna grow, right, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful building. It's gonna take some care, you know, every once in a while you're gonna have to put some money aside to put a roof on and all those things. But I'm confident that you'll take good care of the county's asset. And I know that's not guaranteed, I don't think you can guarantee things like this. I think you just have to have faith in the people that run it for you.
I think that's where it needs, you know, you can do the long-term lease and that, but there still should be, you should come in at least once a year to update us and stuff.
But
Bring something else, you know, stuff like that.
if there's problems, you know, we should work on it together and be respectful before it gets really bad or really expensive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll rely on the county attorney to put the fine print in there to make sure that that happens. But Commissioner Adler's idea about at least once a year, we should have on the agenda and have you come
Every quarter.
Every
in. Quarter, okay.
Yeah,
once a
I wanna
quarter.
see you guys.
We'd love to see her. Well, the other thing you gotta remember, the county commissioner is gonna change, the commission itself changes, that
Yeah.
you can come and educate a new commissioner about
Yep.
what's going on, okay?
You betcha.
Do you want me to talk
guys
about
meet?
insurance, or you guys have any questions on that issue?
It's about once a month.
Got-
Once a month is the agenda on the county
Okay, hang on
commissioner's
now.
website.
Not every, we don't need sidebars, let's, everybody needs to be heard. So, the county attorney's gonna talk a little bit about insurance quickly.
So that could be handled through agreement as well, the addendum. The, if it becomes a county asset, county's on the deed, then it could be insurance through the county's insurance, through the property coverage. And then potentially liability coverage would be split between MMIA, the town's insurance, and the county's, but those issues still have to be worked out.
Okay. Commissioner Hinkle, did you have other questions?
MMIA, the town's
Commissioner Adams?
insurance.
No, I'm good, I'm pretty happy about it.
So then I'll entertain a motion, if one of the commissioners wants to make it, to convey the property, accept the deed on the new library.
I'll make the motion that, on the Philipsburg Area Community Library District Board request for county to accept deed conveying real property. I'll make the motion that we accept it.
No, second it.
Lots 17 through 18 of Block 3 of original town site of Philipsburg.
Okay, and she could put that in the minutes. Okay, any further comments on the motion? Is there any public comment on the motion?
I don't understand, so you're gonna have another meeting to discuss the addendum and more in full, or you're just gonna go ahead and do it now?
In, in purpose, right now, the motion is to go ahead and accept the deed. There are gonna be some details gonna have to be worked out on insurance between the city and the county, and we're gonna trust that they do that. Before we sign anything, we will absolutely look at all that.
And this is the building where?
It's,
It's right next to Bricks, right across from the brewery.
Broadway Trading.
Yeah, we down the house.
It's a retail store right now, but it's the building directly to the right of Bricks if you're looking at the front entrance.
Right there where that little coffee shop.
Oh,
is,
in there.
patio
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff.
Okay.
oh,
Now I
I don't
know.
know, is my library gonna have a coffee shop? Yeah. What do you think? I'd
And a
love that.
fireplace where you can come and sit and read
Okay.
books.
That'd be
That's-
great. That'd be great. Okay, is there any other comment on the motion? On the motion? Hearing none, seeing none, I'm gonna call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Good job, you guys.
You've done a good deed, and we
Yeah.
thank you.
You've done a good
Remember
deed.
that at voting time.